My name is Ben Turney and I am the CEO of Kavango Resources. We are an exploration and mining development company that is listed on the London Stock Exchange. We established operations here in Zimbabwe just over 2 years, and in that time we've invested $15 million into growing our business here in Zim. In that time we've been able to move incredibly quickly, and this is one of the great attractions about Zimbabwe. As a foreign direct investor bringing foreign exchange into the country, that capital is welcomed here and you're able to deploy that capital very quickly to see very rapid return on investment. I often get asked by international investors, why have you chosen to build your business in Zimbabwe? My answer to them is always the same. My experience of having lived here in Zimbabwe now for 2 years and built our business very successfully, the country's reputation internationally as an investment destination is completely different to our experience of growing our business here on the ground. We found as a company that we've been able to move incredibly quickly. With the $15 million that we've invested into our operations in Zim, we've gone from a standing start 2 years ago through to having made 3 commercial discoveries that we're now bringing into production. In mining terms, we're moving at light speed as a business. This is something I always like to report back to our shareholders, the extreme pace that we've been able to move at, and it speaks to the quality of the investment environment here in Zimbabwe that we've been able to achieve this. Of course, one of Zimbabwe's greatest strengths is the people that live here. This is a highly educated and talented population that is very hardworking and very entrepreneurial. We found that we've been able to build our operations here with a quality team that has worked extremely hard and been very dedicated to fulfilling our mission. What we found here is that through the Reserve Bank loan mechanism, where 75% of the capital you deploy into Zimbabwe is protected and can be removed from the country without exchange control provisions, but also there's the dividend laws here. The dividend laws here in Zimbabwe are long established. They've been here for over 70 years. And if I look at the success that our colleagues at Caledonia Mining have had in paying 46 quarterly consecutive dividends, this speaks to the investor-friendly nature of this jurisdiction. And of course, there's our relationship with Zida. We have found that our relationship with Zida has been crucial in us establishing our operations here in Zimbabwe. As with moving into any new jurisdiction around the world, learning the local rules, the regulations and how to operate in the country, it takes some time. Zida has provided us with proactive, extremely helpful advice and guidance, introducing us to key stakeholders and helping us navigate some of the complexities that any company will find moving into a new jurisdiction. What makes Zimbabwe such an attractive destination for international investors is the speed at which you can move here. The country has all the building blocks in place for growing successful companies. The infrastructure is strong, the population is well educated and hardworking, the investment environment is safe and it's possible to recoup the capital that you've had in a secure manner and see investment returns on the money that is deployed. Based on our experience of having successfully operated here now for 2 years, we would encourage any investors to come and take a look at Zimbabwe and the enormous opportunity that exists in this country today. My name is Ben Turney and I am the CEO of Kavango Resources. We are an exploration and mining development company that is listed on the London Stock Exchange. We established operations here in Zimbabwe just over 2 years, and in that time we've invested $15 million into growing our business here in Zim. In that time we've been able to move incredibly quickly, and this is one of the great attractions about Zimbabwe. As a foreign direct investor bringing foreign exchange into the country, that capital is welcomed here and you're able to deploy that capital very quickly to see very rapid return on investment. I often get asked by international investors, why have you chosen to build your business in Zimbabwe? My answer to them is always the same. My experience of having lived here in Zimbabwe now for 2 years and built our business very successfully, the country's reputation internationally as an investment destination is completely different to our experience of growing our business here on the ground. We found as a company that we've been able to move incredibly quickly. With the $15 million that we've invested into our operations in Zim, we've gone from a standing start 2 years ago through to having made 3 commercial discoveries that we're now bringing into production. In mining terms, we're moving at light speed as a business. This is something I always like to report back to our shareholders, the extreme pace that we've been able to move at, and it speaks to the quality of the investment environment here in Zimbabwe that we've been able to achieve this. Of course, one of Zimbabwe's greatest strengths is the people that live here. This is a highly educated and talented population that is very hard-working and very entrepreneurial. We found that we've been able to build our operations here with a quality team that has worked extremely hard and been very dedicated to fulfilling our mission. What we found here is that through the Reserve Bank loan mechanism, where 75% of the capital you deploy into Zimbabwe is protected and can be removed from the country without exchange control provisions, but also there is the dividend laws here. The dividend laws here in Zimbabwe are long established. They've been here for over 70 years. And if I look at the success that our colleagues at Caledonia Mining have had in paying 46 quarterly consecutive dividends, this speaks to the investor-friendly nature of this jurisdiction. And of course there's our relationship with Zida. We have found that our relationship with Zida has been crucial in us establishing our operations here in Zimbabwe. As with moving into any new jurisdiction around the world, learning the local rules, the regulations and how to operate in the country, it takes some time. Zida has provided us with proactive, extremely helpful advice and guidance, introducing us to key stakeholders and helping us navigate some of the complexities that any company will find moving into a new jurisdiction. What makes Zimbabwe such an attractive destination for international investors is the speed at which you can move here. The country has all the building blocks in place for growing successful companies. The infrastructure is strong, the population is well educated and hard-working, the investment environment is safe, and it's possible to recoup the capital that you've had in a secure manner and see investment returns on the money that is deployed. Based on our experience of having successfully operated here now for 2 years, we would encourage any investors to come and take a look at Zimbabwe and the enormous opportunity that exists in this country today. My name is Ben Turney and I am the CEO of Kavango Resources. We are an exploration and mining development company that is listed on the London Stock Exchange. We established operations here in Zimbabwe just over 2 years, and in that time we've invested $15 million into growing our business here in Zim. In that time we've been able to move incredibly quickly, and this is one of the great attractions about Zimbabwe. As a foreign direct investor bringing foreign exchange into the country, that capital is welcomed here and you're able to deploy that capital very quickly to see very rapid return on investment. I often get asked by international investors, why have you chosen to build your business in Zimbabwe? My answer to them is always the same. My experience of having lived here in Zimbabwe now for 2 years and built our business very successfully, the country's reputation internationally as an investment destination is completely different to our experience of growing our business here on the ground. We found as a company that we've been able to move incredibly quickly. With the $15 million that we've invested into our operations in Zim, we've gone from a standing start 2 years ago through to having made 3 commercial discoveries that we're now bringing into production. In mining terms, we're moving at light speed as a business. This is something I always like to report back to our shareholders, the extreme pace that we've been able to move at, and it speaks to the quality of the investment environment here in Zimbabwe that we've been able to achieve this. Of course, one of Zimbabwe's greatest strengths is the people that live here. This is a highly educated and talented population that is very hard-working and very entrepreneurial. We found that we've been able to build our operations here with a quality team that has worked extremely hard and been very dedicated to fulfilling our mission. What we found here is that through the Reserve Bank loan mechanism, where 75% of the capital you deploy into Zimbabwe is protected and can be removed from the country without exchange control provisions, but also there is the dividend laws here. The dividend laws here in Zimbabwe are long established. They've been here for over 70 years. And if I look at the success that our colleagues at Caledonia Mining have had in paying 46 quarterly consecutive dividends, this speaks to the investor-friendly nature of this jurisdiction. And of course, there's our relationship with ZEDA. We have found that our relationship with ZEDA has been crucial in us establishing our operations here in Zimbabwe. As with moving into any new jurisdiction around the world, learning the local rules, the regulations and how to operate in the country, it takes some time. ZEDA has provided us with proactive, extremely helpful advice and guidance, introducing us to key stakeholders and helping us navigate some of the complexities that any company will find moving into a new jurisdiction. What makes Zimbabwe such an attractive destination for international investors is the speed at which you can move here. The country has all the building blocks in place for growing successful companies. The infrastructure is strong, the population is well educated and hardworking, the investment environment is safe and it's possible to recoup the capital that you've had in a secure manner and see investment returns on the money that is deployed. Based on our experience of having successfully operated here now for 2 years, we would encourage any investors to come and take a look at Zimbabwe and the enormous opportunity that exists in this country today. My name is Ben Turney and I am the CEO of Kavango Resources. We are an exploration and mining development company that is listed on the London Stock Exchange. We established operations here in Zimbabwe just over 2 years, and in that time we've invested $15 million into growing our business here in Zim. In that time we've been able to move incredibly quickly, and this is one of the great attractions about Zimbabwe. As a foreign direct investor bringing foreign exchange into the country, that capital is welcomed here and you're able to deploy that capital very quickly to see very rapid return on investment. I often get asked by international investors, why have you chosen to build your business in Zimbabwe? My answer to them is always the same. My experience of having lived here in Zimbabwe now for 2 years and built our business very successfully, the country's reputation internationally as an investment destination is completely different to our experience of growing our business here on the ground. We found as a company that we've been able to move incredibly quickly. With the $15 million that we've invested into our operations in Zim, we've gone from a standing start 2 years ago through to having made 3 commercial discoveries that we're now bringing into production. In mining terms, we're moving at light speed as a business. This is something I always like to report back to our shareholders, the extreme pace that we've been able to move at. And it speaks to the quality of the investment environment here in Zimbabwe that we've been able to achieve this. Of course, one of Zimbabwe's greatest strengths is the people that live here. This is a highly educated and talented population that is very hardworking and very entrepreneurial. We found that we've been able to build our operations here with a quality team that has worked extremely hard and been very dedicated to fulfilling our mission. What we found here is that through the Reserve Bank loan mechanism, where 75% of the capital you deploy into Zimbabwe is protected and can be removed from the country without exchange control provisions, but also there's the dividend laws here. The dividend laws here in Zimbabwe are long established. They've been here for over 70 years. And if I look at the success that our colleagues at Caledonia Mining have had in paying 46 quarterly consecutive dividends, this speaks to the investor-friendly nature of this jurisdiction. And of course, there's our relationship with ZEDA. We have found that our relationship with ZEDA has been crucial in us establishing our operations here in Zimbabwe. As with moving into any new jurisdiction around the world, learning the local rules, the regulations and how to operate in the country, it takes some time. ZEDA has provided us with proactive, extremely helpful advice and guidance, introducing us to key stakeholders and helping us navigate some of the complexities that any company will find moving into a new jurisdiction. What makes Zimbabwe such an attractive destination for international investors is the speed at which you can move here. The country has all the building blocks in place for growing successful companies. The infrastructure is strong, the population is well educated and hardworking, the investment environment is safe and it's possible to recoup the capital that you've had in a secure manner and see investment returns on the money that is deployed. Based on our experience of having successfully operated here now for 2 years, we would encourage any investors to come and take a look at Zimbabwe and the enormous opportunity that exists in this country today. My name is Ben Turney and I am the CEO of Kavango Resources. We are an exploration and mining development company that is listed on the London Stock Exchange. We established operations here in Zimbabwe just over 2 years, and in that time we've invested $15 million into growing our business here in Zim. In that time we've been able to move incredibly quickly, and this is one of the great attractions about Zimbabwe. As a foreign direct investor bringing foreign exchange into the country, that capital is welcomed here and you're able to deploy that capital very quickly to see very rapid return on investment. I often get asked by international investors, why have you chosen to build your business in Zimbabwe? My answer to them is always the same. My experience of having lived here in Zimbabwe now for 2 years and built our business...
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we stand?
The country's reputation internationally as an investment destination is completely different to
and maybe a warm round of applause for our guests as they walk in as well wouldn't be...
as a company that we've been able to...
Exactly. Thank you very much.
With the $15 million that we've invested into our operations in Zim, we've gone from a standing start 2 years ago through to having made 3 commercial discoveries that we're now bringing into production. In mining terms, we're moving at light speed as a business. This is something I always like to report back
while
to
we are upstanding, as we are upstanding, we're going to... And we're getting situated. While we are standing, shall we stand to our feet, please? Thank you. I will ask the sound desk to play the national anthem of Zimbabwe. I pray, let's be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Allow me to greet each one of you and say thank you so much for coming. And as I do at a couple of events, culturally, when we start a morning, we always like to greet the people next to us, yes? So please greet the person next to you. Ask them, how is everything at home? Are you okay? Are you sure you're okay? So it's woko, vanzanai mitupo kumusha, kuri right here. And it's thank you so much. And allow me to welcome you to a beautiful day, to so much excitement here in the majestic Victoria Falls, the seventh wonder of the world. And what other place than to be here as we celebrate the listing, ladies and gentlemen, on the VFEX of Kavango Resources. That's the part you clap your hands. That's the part you clap your hands. So excited, of course, as Kavango Resources, a Southern Africa-based focused metals company that is here for exploration and to make sure, of course, oh yeah, I was going to say that, please make sure that your phone is on silent or it's on vibrate so that you will not draw attention, okay? So, that being said, allow me now to just go through our salutation of this morning, which I will then ask our speakers, because it's pretty long. I think I've got 17 people on this salutation. So allow me to go through the salutation, and I will give instruction as to who will salute for the speakers that will come after me. Of course, it says Director of Ceremonies, which is myself. My name is Maimba, spelled M-A-I-M-B-A. Our guest of honor, the Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Honorable Winston Chitando. The Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Matabeleland North, who is here with us. Of course, Honorable Richard Moyo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our host. He is our host, and he's the one who takes care of us. If you've got any problems, you call him. Any problems at all in this northern province, you call Honorable Richard Moyo, and he will take care of it. He will take care of it. But he will not pay for you to get into Victoria Falls. Okay, again, the Director for Infrastructure Development and Environment Management in the Office of the Minister of State, Matabeleland South, Mr. Daniel.
Matabeleland South.
Yes, Matabeleland South. South, where us, Kavango Resources, yes, Honorable Minister. Representing the Minister there, it's Mr. Daniel Njoa. I am informed that our Deputy Minister of Finance and Economic Development will join us later, but I will acknowledge him in absentia, and I will acknowledge him when he comes. Honorable Mnangagwa, David Mnangagwa will be coming. The Secretary for Mines and Mining Development, Mr. Fungwa Kunaka, represented here by the Director Strategic Policy Monitoring and Evaluation, Mr. Mazemo. Representatives from the government and financial sector, regulators. I don't know if our Deputy Governor is here. Deputy Governor, I was with him on the plane yesterday. He's right there in the mix. Deputy Governor, as you know, I am bestowed with certain powers as a Master of Ceremonies. If I may ask Catherine or Tapiwa to move you up and put you in the, please, if you move our Deputy Governor and give him a seat right there. Thank you so much. Let's give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Our Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. He's got zig in that bag. So make sure you befriend the Deputy Governor. Ladies and gentlemen, we acknowledge you there. The City of Victoria Falls Mayor, His Worship Councillor Prince Tuso Moyo, the Town Clerk of Victoria Falls, Mr. Ronnie Dube, Victoria Falls International Financial Center Board of Directors and Management, Kavango Resources PLC Board of Directors and Shareholders, Kavango Zimbabwe Chairman, Mr. Tam Pofu, Mr. Tam Pofu, Kavango Resources PLC CEO, Mr. Ben Turney, Kavango Resources PLC Management, the ZSE Holdings Group Chairman, my mother, Mrs. Caroline Sandura, the ZSE Holdings Group Vice Chairman, Mr. Bart Mswaka, the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange Chairman, Ms. Florence Jambwa, the ZSE Holdings Group CEO, my brother, Mr. Justin Boni, who's here, capital market participants, members of the media, the fourth estate, without whom we're not able to tell the story, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. This is our long list of salutation. The speakers that are coming after me, please go through, of course, our guest of honor, Minister of State, Matt North, Matt South, and then all protocol observed. You will ride on my protocol. Allow me now, ladies and gentlemen, for the welcome remarks by the ZSE Holdings Group Chairman, Ms. Caroline Sandura, to come through and give us her presentation. And as always, we intentionally put our hands together and celebrate each person that comes to speak.
Thank you, Maimba. I just want to recognize my deputy chairman as he walks in, Mr. Batum Swaga. Can you please come forward? There is a seat for you here. Thank you for coming, Bart.
You're right here.
This is a momentous occasion for us, so it's good you are here. Right. Director of Ceremonies, the guest of honor, Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Honorable Winston Chitando, the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Matabeleland North Province, Honorable Richard Moyo. As instructed by the Director of Ceremonies, I'm going to proceed to say all protocol observed. A very good morning to you all, and a warm welcome to the listing ceremony for Kavango Resources PLC. This marks a significant milestone for us as the addition of an international firm to our local market is a celebration of confidence, growth, and the positive journey towards making the VFEX a hub of opportunity for Zimbabwe, Africa, and beyond. Kavango Resources becomes the 17th counter on the VFEX. Each counter that joins our exchange tells us a story of ambition and belief. The addition of Kavango is not only another listing, but also brings new opportunities for investors and a new chapter in the journey of building a modern financial marketplace. The market has already shown considerable confidence in Kavango, as evidenced by its performance. On its inaugural day of trading on the VFEX on 8 September 2025, Kavango closed the trading session with a remarkable 20% increase over its listing price. This immediate positive reception underscores the market's strong belief in Kavango's potential and solidifies its position as a promising new entrant. Kavango Resources comes to us with a vision anchored in mineral exploration across Southern Africa. This vision ties in perfectly with Zimbabwe's broader aspiration to unlock the full potential of the region's natural resources. By joining the VFEX through a secondary listing, Kavango signals to the world that it is ready to operate with the double-layered transparency, governance, and investor engagement that a public listing requires. For us as VFEX, and especially at a time we are celebrating our 5th anniversary, this is a significant endorsement of the work we have been doing to create a platform that is attractive, credible, and globally competitive. This signifies the journey we embarked on in 2020 with 1 listing, and growing the listings to 17 within 5 years of being operational is no mean task. Together, we aim to pursue key milestones that will benefit the entire market ecosystem, strengthening the resources sector, mobilizing capital for growth, championing responsible business practices through our listing rules, and boosting investor confidence. I want to acknowledge the efforts of key stakeholders in creating a conducive and collaborative investment environment that fosters the growth of our capital markets. A special thank you to our guest of honor, the Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Honorable Winston Chitando, and the critical role they play in boosting both domestic and foreign investment in the mining sector to stimulate growth. We also extend our gratitude to our parent ministry, the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development, and Investment Promotion, for creating a supportive environment for the growth of the VFEX. We owe our success to the support from market participants and our regulator, the Victoria Falls International Financial Center. We appreciate your support and progressive outlook. Most importantly, we commend the leadership and team from Kavango Resources PLC. We are delighted that you have chosen to list on our VFEX. This is just the beginning for Kavango, and we are proud to be part of this exciting chapter. The listing of Kavango has come at an opportune time, as we are at an advanced stage of launching the commodities exchange that will facilitate the trading and settlement of different minerals. We indeed look forward to the continued growth of the VFEX through the various initiatives we will undertake. To Kavango Resources, welcome to our bars, and thank you for entrusting us. We look forward to witnessing the continued success of Kavango in our marketplace. Thank you, Kavango, for actually reading to the mantra by our president that Zimbabwe is open for business. I hope you will be able to assist us by telling people out there that Zimbabwe is indeed a destination for investment. I thank you.
Big round of applause once again. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to the ZSE Holdings Group Chairman, Ms. Caroline Sandura, for those words. Allow me, like I said, I had acknowledged him before he came through. Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge the Deputy Minister of Finance and Economic Development who's just come through. Let's give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable David Mnangagwa. I guess there's a conversation that is going on there. I figured that's going to happen. He's going to say, no, I'm okay right here. I'm fine. I'm sitting with the deputy governor. I've got a meeting with him. She says, no, ma'am, sir, I cannot do this. I feel bad if you don't come here. He then sees that, no, you know what, let's do this. But he would rather have just sat with the deputy governor. He was doing fine with the deputy governor, but no. And then everybody else is getting up. They're like, no, now what's going to happen? You can't go down. Should I stay here? Okay, I'm the youngest. Let me go, Ben. That's fine. And then we've rearranged the chairs. Finally. Oh, let's find you a chair. Somebody says you can just squeeze in. Fine, we'd set up for 6. You know, for 5, we can do 6. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're good right now. Can somebody get me a chair? I mean, we might as well do this right now, right? Okay, let's keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. And now remarks by Zida. Zida, represented here by Silibazi So Chiswina, my dear friend. Please come through and give us remarks by Zida. Let's give her a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you to the Director of Ceremonies, and I'm just going to ride on his protocols and acknowledge the presence of the ministers here today. As Maimba has indicated, I'm here representing the Zimbabwe Investment and Development Agency, and I hope I will not repeat this, but you need to hear more about the impact that Kavango Resources is having on the country, on us as an agency, and I think in the mining sector. As an agency, we meet and we engage with many investors and stakeholders, and we make plans with them. And in a number of cases, we create documents that we file and we hope to track in a few months. From the moment that we have met Kavango, which is Ben and his team, and some of his board members, everything that they have tabled to us, they have come back to us and shown that it has been achieved, and that is a fact. They came and they told us their story, and we listened and waited to see what would happen. They invited us to their site and showed us exactly what they were doing, and we saw it firsthand. They committed to empowering the local communities, and we can confirm that they are working with local artisans and facilitating their milling requirements. They committed to employing and skilling Zimbabweans with the relevant skill sets. We saw this firsthand and met their management and workers on the ground, and I can confirm that that management team is amazing. It is 90% or if 95% Zimbabwean employees. They committed to working with local agencies to improve capacity in the mining sector, and I can also confirm that the mining school is one such agency that is looking to partner them on their initiatives. They said they would come with us as Zida to Australia to tell the Zimbabwean story and the opportunities that are available in this country. And for those of us who were in the room, they came with us. And those who listened to their story can confirm that they made people in that room sit up and ask, are you really a London-based company that went to Zimbabwe that is coming to Australia to tell such an amazing story? So on behalf of the agency, Ben, Tamu, and the entire management and board of Kavango Resources, I would like to congratulate you, or the agency congratulates you on listing, and commends the company for its confidence in Zimbabwe's mining sector and its commitment to working with local partners for development. This aligns with and is consistent with the agency's mandate to attract and facilitate investment into the country. Kavango's continued drive to showcase opportunities in the country is giving us, as a country and an agency, real visibility. In addition, it underscores the message and vision of the Victoria Falls Exchange, which is to serve as a mining finance hub. So as I said, from the time that we first met them, they have carried through and have been able to continually report that they have done what they are supposed to do as an investor. They have shown us and they have done what they are supposed to do, and they continue to support us as an agency. Our hope is that the path and process that Kavango Resources has taken, especially the focus on exploration before extraction, is one that we sincerely hope can be emulated by other local and foreign mining houses in the country. We look forward to working with the VFEX management in telling this story, but also to capacitating other smaller mining houses in understanding how to leverage the VFEX opportunities. So once again, to the board and management of Kavango Resources, congratulations. To the VFEX board and management, I think we'll push a little bit more to activate our discussions on collaboration around letting the world know about the opportunities available through this exchange. Thank you.
Zida, let's give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Zimbabwe is open for business. Our country is blessed with so many minerals. Any mineral, in fact, the question is, which one do we not have? And this is what Zimbabwe offers. In all the 10 provinces, wherever you go, there's a mineral somewhere. Put your foot somewhere. There's definitely an exploration that needs to be done wherever you've laid your feet. This is what our country is endowed with, and this is what our country is blessed with, and this is why we're here today. And I guess I do not even want to take time away from Ben. We've heard of your exploits in Australia, not only from Zida, I mean, again, even from Tatenda, my friend from Minister July Moyo's office. She just was like, oh, Ben, oh, Ben, oh, Ben. I think we need to, I don't know, man, put in a word to Ambassador of Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ben as he comes through, the CEO of Kavango Resources, to say a few words.
Well, that's quite an introduction. I hope I can live up to it today. Today marks a really special day for us at Kavango Resources. We've been operational in Zimbabwe now for 2 years. And I believe in that 2 years, what we have proven without any shadow of doubt, Zimbabwe is open for business. We've gone from nothing. We set up our company in August 2023. We started work on our projects that month. We secured our license with Zida in September that year. And from that point, as a business, I like to tell this to international investors when I present about Kavango and the success that we've had here in Zimbabwe. We've moved at light speed. We've made 4 discoveries. We've drilled over 16,000 meters. We've invested into our team, the local community, local infrastructure. We are now at the point of bringing 2 of our discoveries into production. Really, as a mining jurisdiction, what we have shown is that Zimbabwe is one of the fastest environments that a company like ours can grow in, despite a lot of what is said internationally about Zimbabwe. I have to say to you, most of that is complete rubbish. Most of what is said about Zimbabwe internationally is just simply not true. Our experience here on the ground has shown not only is this an excellent place to do business where you can move extremely quickly, but the people who live here are at the heart of the opportunity. It's an incredibly well-educated population, as you know, incredibly hardworking, incredibly entrepreneurial. So many miners in Zimbabwe have gone out into the field and taught themselves how to mine. There are over 500,000 small-scale miners on the greenstone belts throughout Zimbabwe. And these men, who work in often very dangerous conditions, are very brave. They're very committed. They work for their families in quite difficult conditions with no capital, no training, no access to the sort of technology that we as a business have. And it's my hope that what we as a company can do, not only in bringing this technology and these methods to Zimbabwe, the skills that we can bring and the additional training, but we will encourage others to follow in our path and also train the next generation of miners here in Zimbabwe. We have just recently announced a partnership with the School of Mines. We're very, very excited about this. One of the things I'm most impressed about at the School of Mines in Bulawayo, over 1/3 of their intake are women. 1/3. So talking about the progressive nature of what is actually happening here on the ground in Zimbabwe is very, very impressive. So I'd like to thank our guests today for joining us. I'd like to thank all of you for coming and attending this memorable day for us and our business. And what I can say to you now, and to Silly Basiso and the team at Zida, the commitment that we will make, this is just the beginning. We've already come a long way over the last 2 years. We've invested $16 million here in Zimbabwe, but this is just the start. If we are successful in realizing our vision of bringing modern, mechanized mining methods to the goldfields of Zimbabwe, the success that we've had can be replicated all over the country. So I would like, from a personal perspective, to thank you all for attending here today. I know many of you have traveled a long distance to be with us. We'd like to thank you all for your support and for the phenomenal welcome that you have given Kavango Resources here in Zimbabwe. So thank you all very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you very much, Ben, for that presentation. Thank you very much for speaking and, of course, for speaking for our country. Thank you very much. We appreciate that That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I did say that if you have any problems in this North province, the man you have to go to is Honorable Richard Moyo. It is my pleasure to ask him to come through and speak to us and welcome us to his province and give his presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Honorable Minister Matabeleland North, Honorable Richard Moyo.
Okay, thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies, Maimba Mapranka. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Our guest of honor, Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Honorable Chitando, our Deputy Minister of Finance, Honorable David Mnangagwa, Minister of State for Provincial Affairs for Mat South, here represented. Let me say all protocol observed. It is an honor and privilege to welcome you all to the Victoria Falls Exchange listing ceremony of the Kavango resources here in Victoria Falls. Distinguished guests, today marks a historic milestone for Matabeleland North and entire nation of Zimbabwe. We stand at the beginning of a new chapter filled with hope, opportunity, and progress. The arrival of Kavango resources in more than an investment in the gold beneath our soil, it's an investment in our people, our potential, our future. For too long, our province's rich natural resources have not fully benefited local communities. That must change, and today it begins to. Ladies and gentlemen, Kavango's decision to invest here is a strong vote of confidence in our province and in Zimbabwe's vision for inclusive sustainability development. This partnership brings a real opportunity, jobs for our youth, and growth for local business. But above all, it brings a chance to manage our resources wisely so that the wealth benefit our feet translate into lasting prosperity for our people. We also commend our government's leadership under the leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, in creating a stable, transparent environment that welcomes responsible investments. On behalf of the province, I thank you, Kavango Resources, for choosing to invest here in Mat North. May this be start of a partnership that uplifts communities, strengthens our economy, and brings pride to every Zimbabwean. I thank you.
Twambire Mawoko, Schaizandla, big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much there to our Honorable Minister, Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Matabeleland North Province. That being said, we do know that the VFEX, ZSC boss are the line ministries, Ministry of Finance and Economic Development. And here today we are privileged that we've got our Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development who's here with us. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big round of applause as he comes to speak. Honorable David Mnangagwa, thank you very much.
Thank you, Masters of Ceremony. I knew that chair was going to cost me. Honorable Minister, I thought I was just going to slip in and sit next to the Deputy Governor so we can discuss ZIG and wait for the champagne. But I'm told that he would be honored if we say something as the Minister of Finance. But I actually do have the pleasure of having walked part of the journey with Ben. I think we started talking a little over a year ago. I think they just announced their listing and announced Tam as the chairman. And the same zeal that he has today, he had last year. And I'm glad that, he hasn't lost it, and, he still has a positive story to tell. And I would hope that this serves as an inspiration. When you look at NDS1, which gives impetus and inspiration to our vision as a country, His Excellency is advocating for a free market economy where the private sector leads the transformation journey that we're on. And we as government, as policymakers, just become a catalyst for that to happen. So whenever events like this happen, when it's a culmination of private sector taking a lead in both resource mobilization and in some of our resource extraction and beneficiation, it gives us great pleasure. And I'm also happy to see some of our market geniuses. Zika is here. I would hope that we can get more junior mining companies to list. Maybe we need to educate our young Zimbabweans as to how they can raise financing to go to the next step and leapfrog. I think that the tools are there, that the infrastructure is there, but there's an information and knowledge gap on how to do that. As Zimbabwe, I think we can bridge that gap and become a huge powerhouse when it comes to medium-scale mining, which can actually be a thing, and we can be at the front runner of that. So it is a pleasure as the Minister of Finance to be here to witness this listing and to have been part of the journey. Of course, many thanks to Justin. We want to see more. His success in his job is tied to what is going on today. And a few other metrics we won't say, but I'm glad that you are superseding the matrix that we've given you. So I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to congratulate Kavango and everybody in the room for the hard work that has been done. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That being said, we are now about to listen to the keynote address by the Minister of Mines and Mining Development. I'll ask Mr. Mazemo to come through and introduce our guest of honor. Mr. Mazemo is from the Ministry of Mines and Mining Development. Please come through and introduce our guest of honor. Let's give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Maimba Mapranga, Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Matabeleland North Province, Honorable Richard Moyo, our host, Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Matabeleland South Province, Honorable Albert Nguluve, in absentia, herein represented, all protocol observed. It is my singular honor to stand before you, representing the Secretary for Mines and Mining Development, Mr. Fungwa Kunaka. My task is very simple, is to introduce the guest of honor for this auspicious occasion today. Our guest of honor has a very long biography, but I will just have to mention a few for the sake of our time. Yeah, we are still be within time as per the program, but I will be very short. I'll just mention but a few. He's a seasoned executive whose experience in the mining sector spans close to 3 decades. During these 3 decades, he has served as a chairman of the Platinum Producers Association and vice president and president of the Chamber of Mines of Zimbabwe. In 2017, he was appointed the Minister of Mines and Mining Development, during which time also he has seen other companies listing on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange. He then went to local government and is back with us in the Ministry of Mines and Mining Development, again to champion the development of the mining industry. And as he comes back, he's seeing more and more companies listing on the Victoria Falls Exchange. He's none other than Honorable W. Chitando. And at this moment, let me take this opportunity to invite our guest of honor to the podium. Thank you.
Well, please be seated. Thank you very much. I would like to recognize the Director of Ceremonies. Is ISO certified. I also would like to recognize the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Matabeleland North, Honorable Richard Moyo. I do recognize you. I also would like to recognize the Deputy Minister of Finance, Honorable Kudam Nangahwa, our investors from Kavango, our regulatory authorities from the Stock Exchange, ZIDA, colleagues from the mining industry, and allow me to write on the protocols which the Director of Ceremonies outlined. Today is a very important occasion. It's a very important day. What we are going through is a very important occasion. I always state that for the success of any mining jurisdiction, there are 3 things which are required. Those who have heard me speak, I always start by indicating that. And the first thing which is required is the geology. Because we may want, as a country, to have a mining sector, but if the geology is not there, it will only end up in dreams, because there's nothing you can do. The second requirement to have a thriving mining sector is the correct skills base, management and the correct skills base. And as a country, we are blessed in the sense that we have an excellent geology and we have a skills base as good as anywhere in the world you can get. We do have here in Zimbabwe the skills and the correct culture. There was mentioned by the Director of Ceremony to say, maybe we can talk about the Zimbabwe mining space. You can say, which mineral don't we have? Because we do have over 60 recorded minerals in the country. But when you look at those minerals which are recorded, only about 10 are being actively exploited. And most of those 10 are not being optimally exploited. As was indicated by the CEO of Kavango, and also the director of ceremonies at some stage, when he said that when he went, he spent 5 days, and all he could see was the lots of potential, gold potential. The director of ceremony was saying, everywhere you step, there is a mineral, there is gold. So we do have that geology. We do have the skills base. Our skills base is extremely top class. You can go into any mining jurisdiction in the world. We compete, absolutely. We do have top class mines in this country, which are 100% run by local Zimbabweans. We are absolutely incredibly skilled workforce and with the correct culture. But what has proven a challenge to have the potential, the geology and the skills which we have to unlock that, to contribute to the development of the country, to the development of the mining sector, is the investment. Because the third thing, once you have the geology and you have the correct skills base, the third thing which is required is capital. Capital commensurate with the geology. One of the interesting features of our geological environment is that we do have geological settings which are amenable to extraction on a small-scale mining basis. But these significant opportunities which require exploitation with large amounts of capital. And we have only scratched the surface. We do have, especially on the gold side, and chrome to some extent, a lot of production coming in from the oxides, near surface deposits. But there is further and bigger potential in terms of the sulfides, which are the deeper deposits. And the reason why we have not been able to have huge development in that particular side of the potential is capital. Now, that's the first aspect. Now, that capital is required to some extent in a systematic manner. It's required for exploration. Much as you may go to any given area, in Filabus in this particular case, yes, we have known for many years that there's potential for gold. We know. There are so many other areas where we know that there's potential for gold, for lithium. But in some cases, there is a saying which goes that the value of any mineral deposition is the level of knowledge you have on that mineral deposition. If you go to our geology department today and pay a small fee, you get a map, geological map, which should show you that there is gold in Slovela. That geological map will show you that there is gold in Chimanimani. But you take that map home or to your office. But with that map, there's no way you can go to Chimanimani and start mining gold. Because you don't know, there has to be further work which has to be done to define where the gold is, how deep it is, the metallurgical characteristics of that gold, whether it is associated with other minerals. In other words, the investment which we look for is systematic. Firstly, in exploration, to be able for those investors who have indicated willingness to pursue given areas to undertake exploration, to gain deeper knowledge of the resource. Because the value of any resource is the knowledge, the extent of the knowledge which you have of that particular area, that particular resource. Now, where in Zimbabwe we have lacked is investments to know more of the resource which we have. Now, come Kavango. They have come, they've zeroed in an area they wish to pursue their business interests. Now, Kavango has demonstrated a few things. That it's a very promising, good corporate citizen. From some of the work they have done, the partnerships with the School of Mines, the engagements with the community, but more so undertaking the development in a systematic manner by investing in exploration. From there on, they indicate that they've identified 4 projects where they are now raising money to develop 2 of them into production. Now, many a time you get investors who come in, they acquire or get mining title, but without a systematic appraisal or investment to get knowledge of the given area, they would then start mining what can be seen, the surface deposits. But you find that from the investor perspective, but more so from a national perspective, you are not doing justice to the concessions which have been granted. Because to do justice, what it is required is to invest in a proper evaluation of a given resource. Now, once you invest in a proper evaluation of the given resource, it then indicates to you how best to extract value from that business resource, to that resource, which is good for the investor, but also more so good for the country, because you then find that there's optimal utilization or extraction of that particular resource. Now, having given this context and background in terms of the challenge which we have, or which to some extent is an opportunity for those investors with the appetite, is funding. Now, His Excellency at the onset of the Second Republic was very clear to say, look, we would like as a country to achieve upper middle-income economy by the year 2030. Well, upper middle-income economy, the formula is very simple. It's a function of income per capita. And income per capita is a function of the gross domestic product and the population. Simple divide, then you get the income per capita. Well, there is not that much you can do about the population, but you can do more in terms of the GDP by growing it. So His Excellency says, look, we want to grow the GDP. Now, if you look at any, what you would classify as developed countries, they did not develop overnight. If you look at economic history, it was a process and not an event. And His Excellency set up a process for Zimbabwe to achieve upper middle income economy. Came up with the Zimbabwe's open for business mantra. And then came up with structured programs. The Honorable Deputy Minister spoke about NDS. I'm not, about NDS 1, NDS 2, came up with structured programs. One, to attract the investment, and secondly, to ensure that we concentrate on some low-hanging fruits as we move towards the 2030 vision. I would like to thank Kavango in terms of the company having the appetite to invest in the country and in the mining sector. Zimbabwe is one of the best mining destinations you can get in the world. And I'm so pleased when you see an investor like Kavango stating that very openly, because that's true. Not only do we have the good geology, which I spoke to about earlier, not only do we have the correct skills base, which I spoke about earlier on, but we have a very structured, functional mining setup. Gold, fidelity, non-gold, MMCZ, exports, imports, everything is well structured and very clear. We also have very strong and supportive legislative legislation in place. The Mines and Minerals Act, the fact of the matter is one of the best pieces of legislation in the mining sector you can get in the world. Of course, it's being amended to fit and suit our evolving, the evolving economic factors around us, and also in terms to suit the vision and policies which His Excellency has given us. So really, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important day as we witness the listing of Kavango. What does this Kavango story bring to the table? The facts of the matter, they spoke of 4 new projects and 2 which are going to production. So we are going to see a further increase in the mining industry. Kavango have demonstrated lots of appetite, and I'm sure by listing, I'll be very surprised if they end on the 4 from the conversations I've had with the team. I'm sure this is a base for them to come back at some stage as we look for more money to develop the industry. But again, this listing demonstrates to the investing international community that Zimbabwe is a good destination. Those who would have forgotten us, when they read the story, they say, oh, something else has happened. Absolutely fantastic. This listing also gives an opportunity for local investors, institutional and personal, to have exposure to the mining sector. They are, we have pension funds, we have individuals who will be buying shares or have already bought. There are a number of people who would want, when they see the gold price going up, they think to say, but how do I benefit from these increases in gold price, from the boom in the metal prices? How do I benefit? Now, you don't necessarily have to participate by going to look for a mine and run it, because you may also not have the capital to fully equip a mine, and in some large extent, you may also not have the skills. But you want to take some saving and have exposure to the mining sector, and also benefit from the growth which is happening. So when you have listings like this, it gives a perfect opportunity to our investing, public, local investors at individual and institutional level. And last but not least, this listing will provide an inspiration to other players locally to say, well, it can be done. So it can be done, it has been done, and it will be done. I would like to conclude by say, well done to Kavango. Absolutely well done. Well done to our regulatory authorities, the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, the Victorian Falls Stock Exchange, ZIDA. I know they've done fantastic work, working with Kavango. Well, the Ministry of Mines as well, Ministry of Finance. I had the Honorable Deputy Minister stating that, well, they have just been about a year engaging with the CEO of Kavango. But in a space of 3 years, we've managed to get to this listing. It's as good as you can get anywhere else in the world. We have an excellent mining sector. Zimbabwe is an excellent mining jurisdiction, and I urge all other investors to say, please come and join the trend. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Another big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the keynote address. Thank you so much. Before you even sit, Honorable Minister, if I can ask the top table to come and just stand in front of your top table. All of you, please, if you can just come and stand as we proceed to Tapio, just wait. Tapio, just wait. We are curating this thing here. Okay, just wait. All right. Let me move out again. 1, 2. Oh, she's gone back to start. Yes, this is the part where, of course, Shingi behind you, this is the part where we actually get to ring the bell, the symbolism of the listing, ladies and gentlemen. And Tapiwa is going to come through, walk down the aisle, well, this aisle. Come through the bell, Tapiwa, from VFEX, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause. Shall we stand? We may stand and just give a warm round of applause. We never get tired of putting our hands together. Of this particular ceremony, symbolic as it is, yes, sanitization is happening there. Ranzwa, Chairman, Ranzwa. All right, there we go. And we'll see the chairman without the sanitizer in her hand, without the sanitizer in her hand. She will hand over the bell to our guest of honor. Just put your hands on top of his hands there. That's where we go. And then he will ring the bell. Ladies and gentlemen, the listing of Kavango Resources. Big round of applause, big round of applause. I'm sure our photographers have captured this moment. The bell will be taken away, and then we will ask our head waiter to come through, please, and pop the bottle. Please do not shake it. If you do shake it, yeah, because we don't have a change of suits. Only have one pair of suits that we came for this event. He's gonna pop the bottle. There we go. Look at Ben protecting the chairman there. Okay. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. And then they are going to pour into the 6 glasses. Tapio, if I can get the other glasses, please. I only see 2 here. We all want some champagne. Everybody wants some champagne. Yes, DJ, play that song especially. You see, the minister knows this one. Some old school song, ladies and gentlemen. Some more glasses coming, please come through. Thank you, please bring them.
We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on.
then everybody, please, Musanwa. Musanwa. Shamwari yangu zvanga ndiyataura zita chingobatai magraza. All right, just hold on to your glasses. We're going to raise the glass together. Everybody else, I believe you're getting a glass. Our team of waiters from Elephant Hills are coming through with champagne glasses for everybody.
It's a celebration.
Are we good, guys? Can we raise a glass? All right. Honorable Deputy Minister, should you just say a toast, please?
I'm raising glass to Kavango's listing, to good fortune, and to good pickings. Congratulations, Kavango. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Let's celebrate. It's all right. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate.
Yep.
It's all right, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right.
We may be seated. We may be seated. Another big round of applause. Kavango Resources has been listed, ladies and gentlemen. Has been listed. They've joined the winning team, which is Liverpool. Champions team is what they've joined, ladies and gentlemen. From all these that are listed, ladies and gentlemen, today we'll not talk about all these. I believe we have 17. Is this the 18th? 17th. We've got 16. And ladies and gentlemen, number 17 is Kavango Resources right here. They're going to be put on the... Let's give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if it's winning the English Premier League, you will see the guy who engraves the trophy, right? Their name is being engraved right now on the VFEX, ladies and gentlemen. And now, of course, just to give a token of appreciation, Deputy Governor, I need some zinc. But we can talk after this, right?
Yeah, sure.
You've got them in your bag?
Yeah.
In the bag? Fantastic. Fantastic, Doc. All right, so we are just going to give a token of appreciation. Yes, I'm calling in front. Who am I calling again?
We want to give the certificate first.
Oh, yes, the certificate first. Okay. So we're going to give the certificate itself first and then a token of appreciation. If I may then ask our chairman to come through for this handover itself. I'll ask our guest of honor again. Honorable Minister, please, with your indulgence, please come through. I will ask our Deputy Minister of Finance to be in this shot as the certificate itself is being awarded to the Kavango Resources team. We've got Tam here, the chairman is here, we've got Ben, and then we've got Alex, this is the certification, right? Ms. Florence Jambwa, we've got Tam Pofu, Ben, Alex, and Hillary. Please come through, guys. Please come through and stand on one side. There we go. All right, smile everybody, smile. This is a smile time. This is the smile time. This is the picture that will go on in our reception at Kavango Resources. There we go. Honorable Minister, the certification that is handing over now to Kavango Resources. Deputy Minister, with your indulgence, may I please come and ask you to just come and stand here? Stand right there, please. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. BBC, ZBC, H Metro, everybody, did you get your picture? We're done? Happy days. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We may be seated. Allow me now to... I will start just... A token of appreciation, just to say thank you, Siyabonga Ziko Mukwambili, shukran. We are grateful for taking your time out just to come and be with us. Our Minister of Matabeleland North, will start with you. Please come through and just receive a token of appreciation from Kavango Resources. It's definitely not gold. Everybody loves gold, guys. Everybody loves gold. Even if you're to buy jewelry, the first question is always, is that real gold? You know what I mean? Is it gold? Please just stand right here, Honorable Minister. And then our chairman, Tam and Ben, they will get to hand this over. Just to say thank you for coming. Thank you for hosting us in Mat North, home to the seventh wonder of the world. There we go. There we go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I would like to ask the Deputy Minister, please come and receive a token of appreciation from us as well. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much for coming through. And you know we've got some amazing sculptors in Zimbabwe. Men and women that do the beautiful sculptures. If you're in Vic Falls, please go to the Curio, go to the market, buy something, support our sculptors. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. He was just going to put it right in front of him so that everybody can see and eat your heart out. And then our keynote, our guest of honor, Honorable Winston, please come through and receive a token of appreciation. Just to say thank you for taking your time out. Ooh. There we go. Smiles all around. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Are we done? Is that it? You've got mine? Nothing? Just the paycheck? It's okay. I hope so. You can keep the sculptures. I'm okay. I'm good. Just make sure the transfer goes through. That's fine. Okay, there we go. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the vote of thanks, our chairman, Kavango Resources Zimbabwe, Tam Pofo, is going to come through and give us the vote of thanks. Let's give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Big round of applause.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to ride on the protocols previously observed. On behalf of the Board of Directors, management, and the entire team at Kavango Resources, it's both an honor and a privilege to stand before you this morning on this momentous occasion. First and foremost, I wish to extend our deepest gratitude to Honorable Minister Chitando, our esteemed Minister of Mines and Mining Development, and guest of honor today. Sir, your steadfast leadership and vision for the mining sector have created the very foundation upon which today's achievement rests. Your commitment to fostering a transparent, progressive, and investor-friendly mining environment has been a beacon for both local and international companies. We are deeply grateful for your presence here and for the support your ministry continues to provide. To Honorable Minister Moyo, Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Matabeleland North Province, we extend our heartfelt thanks. Honorable Minister, your unwavering dedication to empowering communities and creating opportunities within the province embodies the true spirit of devolution. It is through partnerships like these that we believe Kavango Resources can play a role in bringing lasting prosperity to the people of Matabeleland North and South and beyond. To Mrs. Sandura, Group Chair, and the team at ZSE Holdings, we express our gratitude for the role the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange Group has played in driving innovation in capital markets. The establishment of the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange has provided a world-class platform through which companies like Kavango can raise capital transparently and effectively. This historic listing is as much a reflection of your leadership as it is of our company's ambition. I would also like to acknowledge and thank our partners in Matabeleland South Province, where our projects are domiciled. Because we have come into the province, we have come into the communities, and we want to grow the communities and contribute to development. Mr. Shepherd Chuma, the Chief Executive Officer of Nsiza Rural District Council, Mr. Chancellor Chidziva, the Acting Provincial Mining Director, and Councillor Luke Dube, the Ward Councillor for Amazon, Ward 16 in Filabusi. We thank you for your presence here today. Your support is greatly appreciated in welcoming us into the community. Our appreciation goes to the Zimbabwe Investment Promotion Agency, represented here today by the Chief Investment Promotion Officer, Mrs. Silibaziso Chizwina. The agency's efforts to attract and facilitate foreign direct investment in Zimbabwe have been tireless. Today's listing is a testament to the positive impact of ZIDA's work in creating a clear pathway for companies like ours to invest with confidence. ZIDA have walked the investment journey with us from the very beginning, and we can testify that we received our license in record time, and the process was smooth. I would also like to commend my colleagues on the board, our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Ben Turney, who has driven the vision with passion and energy. Mr. Hilary Gumbo, who incidentally is a co-founder of Kavango. He's very modest, but Hilary is a co-founder and an executive director. Ms. Alex Gorman, our Chief Operating Officer, and all the management and staff of Kavango Resources Zimbabwe for their commitment and hard work, which has helped to get us to where we are today. We also extend a special thanks to the investors who have shown both on the London Stock Exchange and on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange, who have shown the faith and confidence in our journey and have supported us. Ladies and gentlemen, today is not just about a company listing its shares on an exchange. It is about the future of Zimbabwe's mining industry, about communities being uplifted, and about creating shared prosperity. Kavango Resources has come to Zimbabwe with a long-term vision to explore and develop world-class mineral resources, to partner with local stakeholders, and to ensure that the benefits of our success are felt far beyond the mine gate. As we look into the future, we're filled with excitement and determination. Zimbabwe's mineral wealth is vast, and its people are resilient and talented. With the support of government, regulators, and communities, we believe that as a country, we can once again be recognized as one of the great mining nations of the world. I would also like to extend a special thanks to our marketing manager, Catherine Blakemore, for the hard work that she has undertaken in organizing and coordinating this event. In closing, I extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who has joined us today. Your presence is a powerful reminder that collaboration is the cornerstone of progress. Together, we can build something truly extraordinary. Thank you, and may God bless you all, and may God bless our great nation of Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Thank you very much. That was our chairman. Thank you very much for those words. And indeed, the parting shot is always, may God bless our great nation of Zimbabwe, a country that we love so much, and we look forward to its prosperity. And of course, that being said, we've come to the end of our listing on the VFEX. It's now time to party. It's time to go for a boat cruise, enjoy the Victoria Falls itself. Make sure that you visit, make sure also that you support local, get some curios, get some mementos to give your families and loved ones back home. The price ranges from every pocket to every pocket, so just pass through and support local business. Thank you so much. That being said, Catherine, Tapiwa, you guys might want to lead our top table. Our members of the Fourth Estate, our media. You want a picture for everybody?
Yes, it would be good. Before we depart, we can just get some pictures.
Okay. Is this for the top table or for everybody?
Top table and then top table and front rows.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to hear the British accent, but it's, I think I heard top table in there. That's fine. So that will work. That will work. So may I ask the top table, please just come for a photo op moment, and our front row, please come and join them. Please come and join them so that we can have a nice, lovely family picture. Okay. Please come through, please come through, guys.
My name is Ben Turney, and I am the CEO of Kavango Resources. We are an exploration and mining development company that is listed on the London Stock Exchange. We established operations here in Zimbabwe just over 2 years, and in that time we've invested $15 million into growing our business.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Shall we just get in there? Can I do it this way, please?
One of the great attractions about
allow me to do 2 rows. Can I do it this way? Yes, please. Help me out.
Welcomed here, and you're able to deploy.
Help me out.